Alright, so the very first thing that you need to do is join the cook group. The biggest question I get about becoming a sneaker reseller, and especially doing that on a reduced budget, is like, bro, how are people knowing about these drops? How are people knowing the stock numbers? How do people know when shoes go under retail? And it's because they're getting this information from an information source, and most of the time a cook group is that. Now, if you don't know what a cook group is, think of it as just a group of resellers sharing information. They are getting this information from a higher source and then feeding it down. Now, I have my own cook group, but bro, by all means, it doesn't have to be mine, but that's the very first thing you need to do. Now, realistically, most people tell you you only need about $100 to start sneaker reselling. And before I tell you the reason, if you want to become an expert reseller, I need you to smash that subscribe button. I'm making a map that shows me everywhere I've touched within the last year. Comment your city and state below. But there's two main reasons why you can start with just as little as $100, right? The first reason is, contrary to most people's beliefs, there are sneakers that you can flip, that you can get below retail and flip them that way. And the most exciting reason, the reason why I think everybody should be optimistic about it, is because it's a supply and demand game, and I'm gonna expand on that in a later segment of this video, but pretty well put. Take the Lobster SB Dunks, for example, right? Most Dunks only retail at about $100, right? 108 plus tax and maybe 120 plus shipping. But if you look on StockX, you can get anywhere from $500 to $600 for that exact same shoe. So $100 is more than enough for you to start sneaker reselling. The next thing is getting sneakers, right? Everybody's gonna ask, bro, how do I get these sneakers? You're in a cook group, you've got the money, you're now getting information. So the next thing you have to do is put in the footwork, right? And what do I mean by that exactly? Because see, this is the most realistic way for you to go from a beginner with maybe just $100 to having 20, 50 pairs of the hype sneakers on release day. The most practical way is for you to sign up to Foot Locker, right? Sign up to Finish Line and take advantage of their reward systems. Now, I'm gonna give you some sauce about reward systems that most people don't even really talk about, bro. And that is this, right? Like, take Foot Locker Flex, for example, right? They give you points for shopping. They give you 100 points for every dollar spent, right? And it's no secret that when the hype sneakers come out, the releases come out, the accounts with the higher point totals are the ones who get selected for the releases, right? So think about this, right? All these retailers, they say, hey, our reward system, our raffle system is designed to reward people who wear shoes, right? The consumer. We're trying to X out the resale game, right? But think about this. If the people who have the most points are being selected, who else is spending money in these stores other than resellers, right? Because if you're not hitting on retros, you're not just going to go buy stuff out of Foot Locker, right? Which is ultimately gonna be how you get out of this, but you just gotta stay with me to get to that point. It's the same with the Finish Line system, right? Except their status system, they don't give you 100 points, they give you 15 points, right? But think about this, when they give out when they make their selections for the shoes, when they pick their winners, they're giving it to people who at least have 2,000 points, right? That's number one. You have to have that to even redeem it. So ultimately, these systems are rewarding people that are spending the money in there, right? So how can you with $100 start utilizing those systems, right? Go inside a Foot Locker, go on the sale rack, right? There's something called brick flips, right? Which brick flips are basically flipping shoes that are not hype. Just because they're not hype, just because they're sitting on shelves, do not mean that you can't resell them for a little bit of more profit or even break even. Using the Foot Locker system, right? The flex system, you take that $100 in there, you spend it on a pair of Jordan mids or something like that, you get 10,000 points. Let's say you break even. Let's say you don't make no profit on that shoe. You break even, you go back, get another 10,000, get another 10,000, and before you know it, you now have enough flex points to be one of the people that are selected, right? Now the Finish Line system is a little different, right? And I honestly think you'll have more success with it as somebody who's coming from nothing. And that's because the way Finish Line system works, and I can attest to this because before Sniper Kicks on YouTube, shout out to Sniper Kicks, before he put me on this sauce a couple summers ago, I had no idea. But it's basically the same concept, right? You're gonna go in there, you're gonna spend money, right? You're gonna spend your $100 on stuff that you can resell, right? Now me, I had a disposable $500 to burn. So I went in there, purchase clothes for me, purchase clothes for my kids, for my wife, everybody. And from that release on, I've literally hit EA on 95% of drop. So Finish Lines, JD, they're the same company pretty much, just like Champs and Foot Locker, they all use the flex system. With Finish Line, you don't have to have just an awful amount of points like you do with the flex system. You just have to have enough, and you have to be actively shopping there, right, for you to get EA. Look me in my face right now. I'm guaranteeing you that if you do this, you will start to, number one, you will take that $100, and even if you can't initially flip it, putting it to better use by building you points instead of it just sitting in your pockets, you could possibly be making profit on that money as well. And by the time you have enough points and enough capital to get the hype releases, number one, you'll already be getting them, and number two, you'll have that experience, right? Now, where the magic really happens, and where the resellers that you see that get a lot of pairs, where the magic happens for them is when you do that a couple times, right? You have 4, 5, 6 flex accounts, 4, 5, 6 status accounts, and you're getting it in that way. Now, it's easy as far as if you're, number one, I have a video going far into depth on just how to do brick flips, how to get brick flips, but it's simple, right? Like, you're gonna ask, like, bro, how do I know which shoes to go for in there, right? You're gonna go to the shoe, you're gonna pull out the SKU number, right? That SKU number is gonna be written on the inside tag. If the boxes are available, then it's gonna be on the box, but you're gonna search that number, right? You're gonna look on StockX, you're gonna look at eBay, and if at least 10 of those have sold within the last 30 days, it's a no-brainer. If it's 5, then understand you might have to hold it for a while, but it's still worth doing. So the next strategy that I'm gonna put you on as far as taking $100 and becoming a sneaker reseller is this method might end up costing some money, but it's 100% free, and that's the action. It's 100% free if you have access to phone numbers and even different like devices, right? If you have an iPad, you have an old iPad, a computer and everything like that, then you should really consider making multiple Nike accounts, right? I made a video about this that I'll link you to a while ago, but the concept is, in today's world in 2023, if you want to hit on the sneakers app, bro, you got to have multiple Nike accounts. One Nike account is not going to do it anymore, especially on shoes like the Lost and Founds or anything that can just get you a lot of profit, the most coveted shoes. Like on a lot of those shoes, bro, each account has less than a 2% chance to hit, which is why you probably know people personally that are on like a 2-year sneaker L streak. Running multiple Nike accounts, right? If you're running on your phone, like you can run on your phone, you can run on your laptop, you can run on your sister's phone, your brother's phone, your mother's phone, anybody's phone. But here's some things to remember, right? You can't use the same form of payment, right? Addresses, right? You have to jig your addresses. You have to adjust your address so that the computer does not see that it's all going to the same address. But I have a video where I go further into depth and even show you proof, bro, that since I discovered that method, I have not missed on a single sneakers release, man. Meet me over in that video, man. Rico Gang, I love y'all. Let's get it. Hey, what up, man? It's your boy Rico. If you want to learn how to do different side hustles, how to make money online, then follow me on YouTube for more. Let's get it.